day. We're outside Buckingham Palace tonight. It is a special edition of Quest Means Business as we anticipate the coronation of King Charles III and Queen Camilla. My word, what an event. Good evening and a warm welcome to London. I'm sure there's a Latin phrase, or there should be, for the eve of the King's coronation, the Evus Coronationis. But it is the night before the coronation takes place, and for the first time in 7 decades, the Commonwealth is going to celebrate the crowning of a new monarch. 15 countries will have a new head of state. Excitement is in the air. It's all going full throttle. And thousands of people are already gathering along the procession route to Westminster Abbey. There, King Charles III will present himself to the people and take the coronation oath. There will be representatives from more than 200 countries. The First Lady of the United States there, Jill Biden, meeting the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak's wife, at number 10 Downing Street. Oh, and Lionel Richie was there. Celebrities, members of royal families. There was a garden party earlier in the week. Issa Soares is with me. It's all built up to what is, I think, a tremendous atmosphere tonight.
Without a doubt. And what we've seen, what you've just played there, was a very relaxed King Charles. We saw that throughout the day today, showing himself as a more accessible king, which is something that I think he wants to convey, which what we'll see tomorrow in the coronation. But from the morning where he went to final rehearsals with Queen Camilla, and it was pouring down. That didn't stop, obviously, the crowds from being out here. To then this surprise royal walkabout. Yeah. And him, just as you can see, that was at the garden party, but the walkabout was quite special because it took so many people by surprise. I remember one person actually asking him, who I was hearing, and they said, "Are you nervous? Are you nervous about tomorrow?" And he took the time to meet people. He was there, of course, with Prince of Wales and the Princess of Wales. It was a wonderful moment to bring the public in.
But it's worth mentioning as well, of course, he's had 6 decades to prepare for this.
Oh, absolutely.
And he became king upon the immediate death of his mother. So he's already king. Tomorrow, there are a couple of aspects. There doesn't have to be a coronation, by the way. There has to be the saying of the oath. Yeah. But there doesn't have to be all this tomorrow. But I'm very glad there is.
There's a religious element. It's a very intimate moment for him. The symbolism is very important from a religious point of view. But you were going to say something?
No, only on this religious point. Not only will there be leaders of faith, but also
from all over.
The various different faiths. Yeah. And indeed, tonight, it being Shabbat, the chief rabbi,
He's going to be there.
He's going to be there. He's actually staying at Clarence House, which is where Camilla and Charles live. They've put him up overnight so that he can walk to the Abbey in the morning.
All of these things that we're just laying out, signs of a modern Britain and exactly what he represents and what he wants this monarchy to represent as it moves with the times.
But there's a difference between a modern Britain or a slimmed-down monarchy and doing it on the cheap.
Well, I don't think this is this is going to be very cheap. We're paying for it. But I don't
worth every penny.
No, I was going to say, I don't think people will complain, regardless of what you hear in terms of comments. The majority of people, and everyone, probably some of the crew members here will be like, "Oh, I'm not going to celebrate this. There's no way I'm going to have a garden party. Bunting is out. I can say bunting's out in my house. My kids had a crown this morning as I went to school." People will be celebrating come rain or shine. You'll be wearing your wellies. You'll be putting sunscreen on. It does not matter, Richard. It comes to the moment, and you're starting to feel already the energy here. People are getting very excited about this moment tomorrow. You're going to give me some more of your quiche?
No, I'm not. I'm going to explain. Throughout the course of the programme, we have our coronation quiche, which of course is the official dish which was made for us by Olivia. And the coronation quiche, it's got a slice missing.
I didn't eat all of it. I had to taste it. It is wonderful, but yet again, the simplicity of it, of a quiche.
You didn't make it.
No, I didn't. Listen, no, yes, sorry. Eggs, a couple of vegetables. Oh, good. No, normally I go to the supermarket. Don't have time to make it, but I will enjoy it, Richard.
You enjoy it. Thank you very much, Lisa. Have a good coronation. People have been camped out for days along the procession. If I wasn't working in the route, I promise you I'd be there on the street with my sleeping bag. From all over the world, from different realms and countries to witness the events, and they spoke to us about why it was important, they believed, to be here.
It's so fabulous. You know what, the British people are wonderful, and it's so exciting to be part of the whole pomp and circumstances. It's exciting.
I'm proud of our monarchy and I'm proud of our country. And I'm glad we've got them rather than some of the prime ministers and presidents that are around at the moment that you're not so proud of.
It's our history. It's what makes us British in a way is that we're different than other countries whose monarchy may have been shrunken beyond all recognition, but our monarchy brings in a lot to the economy of Great Britain, and they're really, really important.
Now, during the ceremony, the public will be invited to offer allegiance to Charles. It's called the Homage of the People. It used to be the Peers' Homage in earlier coronations. It replaces the traditional. It's one of several changes meant to make the service more modern and inclusive. And for the first time, religious leaders of various faiths, I was telling you about a moment ago. And some of the hymns and prayers will be in the Welsh, Irish and Gaelic languages. The monarchy is trying to improve its public image. About a third, just over, of the British adults say their opinion of the royal family has declined over the last 10 years. Paddy Harverson used to be the communications secretary to King Charles. He's now managing partner at Milltown Partners. He joins me. We've known each other a long time, Paddy.
Yes.
Tomorrow is an extraordinary occasion. He's waited for this all his life. You know the man, you've met the man, you'll be there tomorrow. How will he be taking it?
I think he'll be excited, he'll be ready. And she will too, so it's very much the two of them, and they're a great couple and they give each other great strength. But he is the best prepared monarch we've ever had. As you've said, 6 decades in the waiting. He knows his country, his people, his planet better than anyone. He's probably met more leaders of governments and heads of state than anyone in this country, and he cares passionately about so many things, and you've mentioned whether it's the faith, the interfaith leaders we're going to see tomorrow.
The only thing I do wonder is that he is in his 8th decade. He is 72.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it doesn't exactly, or does it, portray a modern Britain when you have an older monarch after a previous older monarch for several decades?
Well, it comes in a way with the way the family grows. You can't really pick and choose them.
Exactly.
And don't forget, you can see the lineage down. So you've got the Prince of Wales, Prince William next, and you've got his son after that. So I think people have confidence in the future, and I think he's the right king for now.
But is he? Do you see it as one of his priorities to bring William up to speed, in a sense, in a way that he was brought up to speed by his mother, because she took the crown much earlier?
Yes, but of course William has been a senior working royal for 20 odd years now, so he's already been able to learn on the job. So that's one of the benefits of the system, is that they all come through and learn as they go along. And I think one thing he'll also want is to allow William to be his own kind of Prince of Wales and to develop his own interests, which we already see in terms of equally like the environment and the Earthshot Prize. So the system works in this sort of magical way, but it works very well. I have full confidence in it.
Let's just mention that, you know, the family. I mean, you've got both Andrew with the problems there, Harry will be there tomorrow. That negotiating of difficulty is something Charles is really quite good at.
Yeah, he's got great natural qualities in terms, he's the leader of his family now, he's the leader of his nation. We saw it actually when the Queen died. He has this fantastic empathy. He connects with people really well. I mean, sometimes people say, oh, he always looks rather formal and stiff, but actually when he's out there, we saw it on the walkabout, he's fantastic relating to people.
What I don't think we see properly is this extraordinary duopoly we're getting tomorrow. You know, with the Queen.
Yes.
Where he is stiff or maybe reserved, she is bubbly and has no reservations.
Yeah, I mean, they're like all great couples. They sort of complete each other. They match each other really well. They have a great sense of humour. When they're out and about, there's always lots of laughter.
Do you know, this is 5 pounds of sugar and other things. That's the weight of St Edward's crown that he's going to put on his head tomorrow. Could you imagine putting that on your head? I mean,
very
and then
dashing.
having to walk. Sorry?
Very dashing.
£5. But we have been having coronation quiche.
Can I?
Olivier made this was. Would you like to try some coronation quiche?
I would love some. Thank you very much, Richard.
Very nice.
I'll take a small bite.
Well, you can't say anything on television now. You got to.
It's fantastic. I love quiche. I love raw beans and spinach and eggs. So this for me is heaven. It's really good.
I believe you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much indeed.
I'm going to keep it.
Oh, thank goodness for that. We have plenty more quiche for other guests. They're wonderful to see you. Have a marvellous day tomorrow.
Thank you very much. I
Thank
can't
you
wait.
very much. Now, the mood on Wall Street is almost as jubilant as it is here. Strong US job growth is helping give Wall Street its best day of the week. The Dow's up 600 points following the employment report. The economy added 250,000 jobs, more than expected. Regional bank shares are also rallying after steep losses on Thursday. PacWest has, well, you can see the numbers on the screen. Very strong. Western Alliance, First Horizon, all going up. Rahel Solomon is in New York. So this job number, this strong job number, it's a double-edged sword, because what does it mean for the Fed in the future?
Well, that is the question, Richard, right? And yet, I think there's something here that the Fed might like. So let's go over the report, and then we can talk about what the Fed might actually like in this report. So as you pointed out, more than 250,000 jobs added in the U.S. economy, stronger than economists were expecting. Now, Richard, we did get downward revisions for the month of March. We got downward revisions for the month of February. We saw really broad-based gains. But how does the Fed view this? Well, wages did accelerate on a monthly basis. They accelerated 0.5%. Richard, the expectation was closer to 0.3%. But actually, when you look at the 3-month moving average, when you sort of average the 3 months, sort of smooth out any volatility month over month, that's actually moderating. I would argue Jay Powell would like to see that. And when you look at the supply of workers, Richard, we have had a supply problem here in the U.S. Labor participation in terms of prime age working adults, that actually increased. So in some ways, there's a bit of good news here for everyone.
Rahel, if there's good news for everyone, it begs the question, what next? And by that, I sort of mean, the Fed has said it's going to pause. If the pause lasts longer, that suggests no more rate rises. But we've really got to see more inflation data and the underlying aspects to it before we can make that statement.
Well, Richard, I would argue the Fed did not say they would pause. They left the door open, right? I mean, what we heard is that, well, we may pause, we may not, right? Not in that language necessarily, but in Fed speak. And essentially what you have here is Jay Powell saying, look, we might be done, but we are really going to be data dependent, meaning that labor reports like this matter, meaning that CPI reports like the one we will get next week really matter. But to your point, Richard, I did ask the chief economist of ZipRecruiter, Julia Pollack, that very question earlier. And I said, look, you get a labor report like that, like this that we got today. This is sort of throw cold water on the idea that we will see rate cuts this year, not a pause, but rate cuts. And she said, look, it's hard to see, at least right now, how the Fed could justify cutting rates when you still have a labor market that is continuing to heat up, as we saw. And look at the Dow. I should point out, Richard, the Dow is actually now positive again for the year on the back of these gains. So this is something that, again, I think there's a little bit of something for everyone here. But in terms of rate cuts, hard to see how it's possible after a report like this.
If there's a rate cut before the end of the year, choose the restaurant and I'll buy you dinner. How about that then?
I like those odds because, Richard, as you know, anything could happen between now and the end of the year. So I'll take it.
Thank you, Rahel. Now, you can see I have a whole variety of props. There is, of course, the coronation bear, the coronation crown, which, as I already said, do you know, this thing, the one he's going to wear tomorrow, weighs the equivalent of a bag of sugar, 5 pounds. Now, imagine wearing that and having to walk down the aisle. Yeah, that's what it is. You get the idea. We're going to talk about the bonanza for retailers, which is happening as a result of the coronation. The CEO of Fortnum & Mason is here. I'll give him some coronation chicken and hopefully he'll give me a biscuit back in return. I'll be with you tomorrow for CNN's special coverage of the coronation. Starts at 10 a.m. in London, 5 a.m. in New York. Please do join us for an historic event. I've been giving away all this quiche Olivia kindly made it, and delighted. The Coronation quiche made by Olivia, and I will now taste some of it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much indeed.
Good.
It's very good. Profitable moment after the break. Excellent. Tonight's profitable moment from Buckingham Palace. It's very tempting to sort of carp and moan and complain and say it's all very expensive and the country's having economic difficulties and there's hardship. And really, what's it all about? A family, a royal family that's overpaid, and what do they actually do? And it's all hereditary. It's too easy just to say that. But tomorrow is about more than that. Tomorrow is about a constitutional monarchy that has stood the test of time for 1,000 years. When you think about the first coronation in Westminster Abbey, 1066, and you look at all the regalia that'll be handed from 1760s to the 1861 and the coronation chair, there is a line of continuity throughout that is significant because it has given the stability that, of course, is the heart of Britain. Now, you'll know, of course, that I am a dual citizen. I became a citizen of the United States, of which I'm extremely proud. But I'm also very proud that I was born in Britain and that I'm a British citizen too. I had the best of both sides of the Atlantic, if you will. I'm greedy, if you want to put it like that. And so tomorrow, I will be watching the coronation, and I will be with you, and I'll be thinking this is what Britain's about. And as long as it modernises, and as long as it remains a constitutional monarchy, with a democracy at its heart, but a monarch at its stability, then I think tomorrow should be a magnificent day. And to those who sort of say, nah, what's it all about? Well, go and do something else. The rest of us will be enjoying the coronation, and the coronation chicken, and the coronation quiche. And that's Crespy's Business for this Friday night, Coronation Eve. I'm Richard Quest. Whatever you're up to in the hours ahead, I hope it is profitable and you have a good coronation.